Hassan fans as bad as MAGA fans. Because the ultimate evil for a white liberal in America that's probably really well-to-do and doesn't have to live in a bad neighborhood we've ever been beaten half to death or robbed or shot at, literally thinks the worst thing in America is a Trump voter or someone that didn't vote against Trump at all.
On a more serious note, the Hassan stuff is nice to look at because its community actually operates functionally in an identical manner that the MAGA community does. And it's nice to see how the machines work in a comparatively low-stakes environment.
Yada, yada, yada. I'm not even reading all of this because, frankly,
in the absence of
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we have a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about TwitchCon once again and the absolute disaster happening over there and the continued fallout since the Emiru situation. But we're also going to talk about Hassan Piker. Now, it's been a few days since we've talked about Collargate, but welcome back because it's continued. This photo right here is just as ridiculous as it presents itself. It's been a very weird week for Hassan. There's been a lot of memes, including AI edits like this song. It's really funny, but again, as I always say, like, it's not that funny because the subject is, of course, potential animal abuse, and, well, he's been crashing out. Hassan has been fully crashing out. I guess he didn't like this still image of himself because he really went off the rails. He made it very clear that he is black-pilled, that he hates absolutely everything, including his political allies. He hates everything. The dude is feeling the heat, and it's hilarious to watch.
I can't stand any of you dumb goddamn chats. Oh my god, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single goddamn week. I hate my life. I hate streaming. I hate socialism. I hate every single person who thinks that the peak of activism is just being the most annoying, holier than thou, the most ultimately woke leftist. It's just, you did it. You did it. You have unlocked the nihilism within me, okay? I am black pills. Nothing will ever get better. We are never going to make it out. We can have a normal, non-hostile goddamn conversation on any of these issues. Everybody just simply wants to chirp into the wind because they have no power and they recognize their utter powerlessness in the face of unjustifiable constructs that we fucking under. And the best possible you can do is just be goddamn annoying, okay? I want to just shut it off, dude. I want to shut everything off. I just want to go away. If I wasn't so goddamn stubborn, I would have a long time ago. Oh my lord. I 100% think somebody go on sub-only mode. What do you mean? The most annoying people are literally like the 40 monster drivers.
You're upset with it. Hassan Piker is saying he's black-pilled, and you're upset. You got nothing to worry about in life. This dude is actually feeling the heat, as I was saying, but there's a lot going on with Hassan. Now, I showed you this image just a minute ago where he's walking around at what I believe is a No Kings protest, joining the unemployed here to bravely walk down the street. I find this whole thing to be very, very ridiculous. So this guy right now is facing allegations that he is abusing his dog. So what does he do? He goes to an event where he feels apparently so unsafe, he has to wear a bulletproof jacket.
My work here is not done.
But also brings his dog. This isn't like a service animal or anything like that. He brought his dog needlessly, like as a prop. So again, he feels so unsafe he has to wear a bulletproof jacket, but he brings his dog with him as well. Interesting stuff. Well, during this, there's this funny clip that is making the rounds on social media where some of his fans approach Hassan, and he seems mortified. In fact, when they shake his hand, watch him instinctively wipe it off on his shirt. He's completely disgusted, but it's like, dude, these are the fans you have cultivated. No wonder he's nervous. Like, he understands some of the crazies in his midst. Okay, so I don't think it's too surprising that he has this reaction to fans approaching him. I mean, he literally looks startled there for a second. But of course, well, things are getting worse. just like anything else with Hassan, this collar gate situation, it keeps getting worse. So there's another resurfaced clip from years back. You might recognize this particular dog. This is the one where he pulled it by its tail, which is super dangerous, by the way, but people saw a still image from one of the related clips of this dog where it appears to be wounded. It has an open wound on its neck. Likely from its collar being too tight, or, in this case, sharp and jagged, which is another terrible look for this guy. On top of that, the maker of the collar in question that was used on his dog, Kaya, the educator collar, the maker has reached out to people asking, hey, we have this screenshot of the streamer Hassan who used this device over here. Is that your product? And they said, yup, it looks like it. So that's also bad. On top of that, people like Ethan Klein are pointing out another resurfaced old clip where it appears that Hassan used a shock collar on his dog once again. And you can see, remember the original clip where this whole drama and controversy started? This looks eerily similar. So let's watch this. Right? He'll mute his mic, press something, Kaya reacts, and then lays down in the back.
Trump was potentially going to use to potentially put pressure on Jordan's king to try and take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's what we've heard from Trump.
Does that not look familiar? This is literally what happened only a few weeks ago.
To try and take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's what we've heard from Trump.
He reaches off screen, presses something, Kaya jumps, and then retreats back to her bed, where she has a prop for Hassan to use for his streams. Pretty bad stuff, guys. I'm waiting for the Hassan orbiters to find a way to explain how this is not suspicious. How this is not proof of anything. That in fact, this might be Zionist propaganda, especially coming from Ethan Klein. This is all a hoax. In fact, this clip might not even be real. Well, they've tried everything at this point, but of course, Hassan is not taking accountability. He says he is in some small way for, I guess, his initial reaction and not checking on Kaya when she yelled. But man, even some of the Hassan heads, as they're called, the long-term subscribers, they're done.
I'm a Hasanabi head, but why is this so hard for you to apologize that you did your pet wrong, brother, and you're going to do better in the future? It would help you and would strengthen the trust and relationship with your viewers if you apologize for your mistakes. No, that is a Hasanabi head. That's like legitimately a long-term community subscriber who seemingly hasn't seen me take accountability for not immediately going over the tower to check in on her. But it's true. But this is now, you want me to take accountability for being a dog adventure, or then that's not accountability. It would be agreeing to the insane hallucinations.
Yeah, you can see the way he's squirming his way through this entire situation. This is not the first person who is a long-time community member who's had enough. Again, it's kind of sad it took this whole situation with Kaya and his treatment of dogs over the years to make some people open their eyes, but that's where we're at, and some people really are done with Hassan after years of supporting him. But taking accountability, Hassan has an answer. He has an answer to not only his own plights, but also the TwitchCon situation. The answer, the blame for all this lies in whose hands? Tectone. Yup, it's Tectone's fault. Ladies and gentlemen, it is always someone else's fault. It's always the same people he blames for everything. I also believe he blamed Destiny for some of the stuff happening at TwitchCon. I mean, the guy will literally blame anything on his enemies. And, well, Hassan has directly labeled Tectone at fault for what happened at TwitchCon, even though it had absolutely nothing to do with him. And of course, he calls him a rape tone. which is something that he has slandered Tectone with. In case you don't know the context, about a year ago, an ex of Tectone accused him of being an abuser, but he presented literally zero evidence and never even filed any sort of report that ended up with a charge. So there's nothing to really base his claims on, as we know right now. But people like Hassan, they heard one of their enemies, one of their critics, being hit with an accusation, and he just believes it. And now not only slanders the guy, but also blames him for what's happening at TwitchCon.
I'd say that the overwhelming majority of collaborations were positive back in the day, and now the overwhelming majority of collaborations are forced upon people with drama and with like sometimes severe allegations being used as simple drama. And while people were clout chasing back then too, because that's just like a normal aspect of how these things work, the clout chasing was still controlled through this social mechanism, this social enforcement. Like, I do not think that there would be a rape tone style content creator back then, or if there was, I don't think that they would have had any, like, everyone would be like, no, that's fucking bullshit. Hero. Like every content creator would in unison come out and be like, dude, you are fucking gross. Get the fuck here. Twitch used to ban partners for harassing other partners. Oh yeah, that's true.
Don't have to be a
yeah,
witch to
that's
find
actually a good point. I forgot. Twitch used to literally ban
help.
partners for harassing other partners. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that right now? Think about that. That would be like 90% of top content creators would be banned off the platform if that was still enforced to any degree.
Yep, sounds about right. So he's coming up with his own little theory here about clout chasing and how the social structure of Hassan and his circle used to weed people like Tectone out. It's all projection, and it's all just, again, hammering away at accusations to label someone as guilty without even hearing any of the evidence or any charges. All that stuff completely missing, but it's enough for Hassan to feel comfortable enough accusing someone of a heinous crime. But let's go back to TwitchCon. So we talked about TwitchCon for the past 2 days. So it's been underway in San Diego. I actually just wrapped up last night. And there's been a lot going on. People, male and female, claiming to be sexually assaulted during this convention. And the main thing people are talking about is Emiru, a very popular streamer who was assaulted live on stage. This is the clip. Guy just walks in and just grabs her and tries to kiss her, and it's been an absolute mess. Twitch came out with a statement. They were hit with a note because they try to claim that they followed through on everything and were cooperating and everything's been handled, but in reality, the dude literally just casually walked out of the venue. And to make things even weirder, he received a 30-day ban on Twitch. Initially, I believe it's permanent now because Emiru spoke out against it. But they knew who this guy was. They knew enough to find his Twitch account and ban him for 30 days. But they didn't, number one, permaban him, at least initially, and also they didn't file anything with local law enforcement. I mean, what are we doing? This is an absolute mess. But then again, you start looking around at the leadership, Mr. Dan Clancy, who's always thinking about the safety of women at his events. This clip, I cannot get enough of this clip. It makes me laugh every single time. What is old man doing here? What? He just yeets this girl. Like, what are we even doing, man? But there was someone else who came out and questioned Dan Clancy because he had an open Q&A the other day. And this streamer, American Dad, a veteran, by the way, would ask him some hard questions, mainly pertaining to comments made by Hassan Piker, as well as some of his orbiters like Krogan, and basically saying, as a veteran, why are you allowing these things to happen on your platform? And here was Dan Clancy's answer to that question.
My work here is not done.
I've been working for a long time. But another thing that I am is I'm a U.S. veteran, served in the Army, deployed to Afghanistan. Veterans really appreciate, what you've done and all that. And, usually some of those examples watch out, it's always a very tricky process because part of what we need to do is have to guidelines, and we do have a team that's very much consistent guidelines. If you use there was a time where people sometimes unfortunately, and but when this happens at all times,
This is real
I mean, you can see the swarming, right? This guy was ducking any chance of a real answer to this man's question. Dan Clancy is afraid to answer what's being asked here because the truth makes him look bad. And the push to have something happen here with Dan Clancy on his platform, which, as I stated the other day, which is still not profitable, something's got to be done. Like, this guy is running this company into the ground. And he can't even answer basic complaints from people who have an interest as a veteran, a protected status, or what's supposed to be a protected status on Twitch, which is not protected, because people like Frogan can say they deserve PTSD, Hassan can say America deserved 9/11, all these crazy things, and it goes completely unchecked. And of course, Dan Clancy doesn't want to answer anything because it makes him look bad. In fact, here's a clip from TwitchCon where Dan Clancy's talking to this guy, and I can't play it because it's got copyrighted music in the background, but basically this guy implies that the CEO of Kick needs to be fired upon, I guess is a way of saying it, and when he hears that, Dan Clancy dabs him up.
3, 2, 1.
What? It's absolutely insane behavior. It's coming from the top. It's not just these streamers who are saying crazy stuff. He's responding to crazy stuff. And seemingly he's like very celebratory of hearing these sorts of insane comments, these violent comments coming from people on his platform. In fact, he seems to have energy for that, but as pointed out here, some people who are Twitch partners went on their Prime Video channel and said simply, "Leave fire." Let's bring it back to Hassan, and they would be timed out. Interesting. On top of that, there's another clip making the rounds this morning where a Twitch partner at TwitchCon who attended is calling for a civil war in the United States. This is the stuff that goes on at Twitch. This person will not receive any punishment. I mean, they were literally trying to egg on and push for a civil war in the United States. And they just freely attend TwitchCon and are a partner on the platform. It's absolutely crazy. But we see some interactions here between Asmongold and People Mindset, where basically Asmongold is saying it's crazy that Twitch just lied about protecting creators from sexual violence. And there's a video that proves they're not upholding their end of their bargain of what they're trying to claim. And the fact that an Amazon-owned company actively tried to cover up an assault should be a bigger story than it is, and I believe that 100%. This should be a massive scandal. An Amazon-owned company that generates billions of dollars but no profit, by the way, had a situation like this happen where they're trying to actively cover up an assault. live on Twitch, and they're just, no one cares. Because I guess it doesn't fit whatever agenda some of these journalists and what have you want to cover. But Legal Mindset says, just had a nice chat with a friendly Amazon employee over dinner. He made it clear that Jeff Bezos is more interested in competing with Elon Musk over the size of his rocket rather than policing Twitch. So legal action may be the only option, which is a very sad reality. But let's go back to Hassan for a second, because the rhetoric has not slowed down. In fact, his rhetoric has gotten even more dangerous and slanderous. And Asmongold has some recommendations, and I think it's very fair. But will Hassan listen?
Doesn't have the same energy for people that he knows.
Because they weren't convicted. And you shouldn't be calling them as if they did the things that they're being accused of. And I think he's really, like, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, this is honest advice to Hassan. The fact is, and this is the case with me too, we are getting into a position where he and I are both very, very successful in our careers. He is very successful, and I think that I am too. That is also a problem, because people will see people like us say something, and they will try to dissect it and figure out a way that they can sue us. Hassan needs to watch out by saying this random stuff and going off and coming up with these names about people and saying this stuff, because eventually you're going to run yourself into a defamation system. And it doesn't matter how many Twitter orbiters you have and how many people you ban in chat. Whenever you're sitting there in the courtroom being accused of defamation or lying about somebody, it's not going to matter whether there's a genocide there. It's not going to matter whether, you know, what his dad did. It's not going to matter any of these other bullshit accusations. What's going to matter really is it a Zionist? Oh, this person took money from Israel or something. It's ridiculous. And you're going to, like, and I think really he should look at, like, really, I mean, you know, he will not admit this publicly, but take a step back and think about it, you know. Do you think that you handled the dog collar thing very well? I think the answer to that probably is no, you really didn't. And I think that the way that you've dragged it on and everything else, you've brought other people into it as well. This has not helped you.
So yeah, I think that's really going to do it for today's updates on the Collargate situation as well as the TwitchCon situation. And before we go, I want to remind you guys, I have this huge drop going on right now with Advanced, where we had a whole bundle of stuff that dropped. But mainly we have this new flavor jar. I've done flavor jars in the past, but this one's special because I actually tested it out with the team, chose my own flavor, and it's going to be a permanent staple on the website. It's my Jolly Pop Energy Flavor Jar. It gives you the same energy as your traditional energy drinks or pre-workout or stuff like that without the crash associated with those other options. It's a blue raspberry flavor. You can see my VTuber model on the jar. It's really cool stuff. I can't recommend Advanced enough. They also released some new hoodies featuring my designs here, and these are in limited quantity. There's about 100 of each of these before they are completely sold out. On top of that, we also have this new Senpai shaker. I'm the third one to ever get one on their website. This new plastic shaker, it looks awesome. Very cool stuff. Again, in limited quantity of these as well, so make sure you act fast. And no matter what you do, whether you get individual buys or you bundle and save, just make sure to use code RED to get 10% off your total advance order. Thank you guys for the support. It's been absolutely crazy. We're already in the triple digits in terms of just orders alone, not just items, but orders, which is really, really cool. And I can't thank you guys enough for the support on this campaign, all my campaigns. But anyways, that's going to do this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Twitch is officially finished. As streaming sites always seem to say, but that's not often compared to how at their convention, they essentially served up their top streamer to a predator, as Amiru made her way to this year's TwitchCon, where her and her friends seemed uneasy about doing meet and greets.
There are a lot of people that felt this way.
Because of people being weird. Okay, and then, I'm under contract with them, so I can't cancel one. Oh, I'm sorry.
But they won't, because while signing something, this disgusting individual is able to walk up and assault her.
Yeah. And keep in mind, the person who pushed him away was her private security. That's crazy.
As he then appears to just casually escape, it's terrifying to know how exposed he is.
That's what happens.
Yeah, when after someone takes advantage. As sadly, this is the same streamer that got attacked in Santa Monica where less than 7 months ago. So
that's again Senna, the clip from before, and that's Ray also. So big surprise. Ray didn't show up. She's like, yeah, fuck this shit. Senna's like, yeah, I don't know about this one. Emmy's like, well, you know, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna try to put my best foot forward. And that's what fucking happens. Isn't that so fucking sad? So fucking sad.
Other stalker attacked her and her friends there.
Hey, stop! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Another epic victory! Security, please, please!
As obviously the girls were pretty shaken up, just realizing how defenseless they truly are and what little local law enforcement can do to protect them.
Yeah.
So you'd wonder if they'd bolster their teams with a bodyguard, but tragically, she just talked about how TwitchCon banned her private security.
I had a security guard 2 years ago where there was a guy.
Oh, and by the way, there's more to that story, too. I haven't even thought about this part of it. There's more even to that story. That's gonna be a real, man. Tell us. It directly involves me.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
And he like asked him to stop multiple times. My guard asked him and the guy wouldn't stop. So he grabbed the guy, but he didn't like hurt him. He was just holding the guy until like the con security came. And then for some reason they're like, yeah, because you're...
No, I was involved with something that happened afterwards. And it's again not my story to tell. So we will wait. And that's really it. I'm not gonna make any, like, you guys can draw. I actually appreciate you guys drawing conclusions because a lot of them that I'm reading are wrong, and I don't want people to start guessing and saying and everything.
Was created.
Go ahead, guess whatever you want.
I will bring peace to this universe, no matter.
You guys know, like, I hide stuff pretty. I try at least to hide stuff pretty well, right?
Security guard.
And I apologize for edging you guys. I really do. I apologize for edging you guys. But the reason why I'm doing it, and this is the reason why, is because I want people to be able to go back and look at these clips whenever the information and the stories come out that are surrounding these events. And I want it to show that there is a longitudinal veracity to it. There is not just like oh, everybody's saying this one thing right now. Now I want you to see and go back to this whenever it does come out, whenever it does happen. That, and here's the reason why. Because I always try to think in advance. People will say that some of these things are lies. And I try to do everything that I can to plant as many seeds as possible in the Garden of Truth. And I think one of those seeds is alluding to it ahead of time so that it's not something that just manifests out of nowhere. Does that make sense? They can build a precedent. There is more of that story. Truth is sprouting. Oh boy. And it will be a bountiful harvest.
Yeah, so Twitch, knowing that she has a history of stalking,
Wendy's?
not only from the live streams they cash in on, but the last TwitchCon they ran. And in response, they took measures to protect the predators from her security. Obviously, these live stream girls don't feel comfortable doing these events. They're openly admitting it on Twitch.
Well, they have to deal with a lot of stalkers. They have to deal with actually more of it than this is. It's like an iceberg. You know, I'd never talk about this because I think that talking about it is a manifestation of it. And in doing so, you breathe oxygen into it and it keeps it alive and it facilitates it. That's why I don't talk about it. But it's a serious issue. It's a legitimate, serious, massive issue.
In order to keep their show, they need to surrender their security and basically be served up to whatever predators Twitch's product attracts. As just over a week ago, they promised the presence of armed law enforcement, since several of their streamers expressed concerns over their physical safety, with Asmon Gold outright saying, women should not attend this event. Where Tectone pointed out, if they can't even moderate their own website, how are they going to moderate real life?
I can't even figure out how to ban people that are threatening to kill streamers. You can't even figure that out. You have your own partnered streamers putting out hits on other people on your platform. And you can't even figure that out. Do you really think that you could set up a live event?
Even I thought about going to TwitchCon this year, but after hearing Asmon Gold, Tectone, and even Hassan were worried about being assaulted.
This place is curious. Keep an eye here.
Everybody said Hassan was overreacting. He wasn't. He was being reasonable, and he made a good decision. That's why it's supporting him. It was smart for him to do that. There are things that I know that are not public. It's a smart decision for him to make.
And keep in mind, these are all 6'3" plus large individuals. I figured they'd know more about it than me, so I stayed home too. As Twitch claimed, they keep you safe, saying they have world-class teams protecting attendees, partnering with San Diego PD and other law enforcement agencies. But somehow all Amiru got were these two completely
No, wait a second. Let me stop you right there. He doesn't know this. How would he know this? Both of these people are not employees at TwitchCon as far as I know. This is her own private security guard. I'm not sure. I won't say the name. I'm not sure that this is her man. Does she? Who's what do you call it? Who's Imru's manager? Does she say her name? That's her manager. Yeah. It's Melissa. Okay. All right. People do know that. Yeah, Melissa. That's Melissa, and that's her private security guard. So the only people that actually came out to deal with this were people that were not staff at TwitchCon.
Individuals only able to get there after the attack, as they were positioned a whole way away, letting her attacker easily escape. Now they did make a statement about the attack.
They lied in a statement. They said things in a statement that were untrue.
The individual responsible for allowing the situation to occur has been removed from their position and went right back into acting like business as usual.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if this girl and her entire team
Again! Well, but he doesn't know that, right? Like, he's seeing it from his perspective, and that's why he's not wrong, right? And also, I'm fairly sure I wouldn't be surprised if the bodyguard wasn't allowed to stand next to him. He probably wasn't even allowed to do that. So he did the best that he could do.
Quit overnight, and nobody would blame them because they're literally putting their life on the line for Twitch. Always posturing like they'll protect these girls, seemingly forcing them into uncomfortable situations by dangling their shows in front of them and then banning their personal security guards. This carefully curated scenario couldn't be any more pro-pervert if they tried. As the most fucked up part about all of this is, what if this wasn't just a pervert? What if this was like what happened to that singer Christina Grimmie, where at a meet and greet, an insane fan shot her, which can talk about all the world
This
classic.
also almost happened to Meg Turney from, I believe, Rooster Teeth. I knew her brother, and so just a weird chain of events led to that. And she had a person go into her house with her husband and basically tried to kill him. And the cops ended up killing him.
I require some aid.
Double. But, yeah, this happens. It does happen.
I feel better already.
Here they want, but absolutely nobody should trust anything they say. So hopefully Amiru Entertainment get all the help they need. They sue TwitchCon for every cent they have, ensuring she never has to stream on that insane platform ever again, and Amazon finally goes in and cleans house at Twitch.
That's what they really need to do. I think so. I think it's so bad. I don't know what to say. I really don't. And yeah, it is awful. And you wonder why people have been choosing to VTube, not excusing the furry side of it. Do you remember whenever I was talking about why VTubing and why girls are involved with VTubing and why VTubing is becoming more popular? Because these platforms, and also this is like and I've been sounding the alarm about this for years, but nobody wants to listen. There is a huge problem on the internet about the behavior that people have online and it going completely unchecked. You have people that are doing things that are literally illegal on the like just because you do something on the internet doesn't make it like it's not like there's another jurisdiction, right? Like you're breaking the law by doing certain things online, like threatening people, like like fucking trying to put out hits on people, etc. It's not like you do it on the internet, it's okay. And this is what's been happening, and it's been going on for such a long time. For a massive amount of time. Oh, here comes the digital ID. Are you guys starting to see why I was saying this? People are finally like, I'm born again. Still got an age. What do you think should be done? I think it's actually very simple. I think that these websites enjoy a tremendous privilege by allowing all of these people on their platform with really no restrictions whatsoever and no accountability for their behavior. And I think that the government should hold these websites more accountable for allowing bad behavior on their website. And I think that websites that don't uphold a higher standard of conduct should be removed from Section 230, which is a privilege that makes them immune to being sued for copyright, because I don't think that it's right or fair for the American people to subsidize and allow a company to break the law while it simultaneously endangers the lives of American citizens because of its own greed. More than 1,000 people have been arrested in Chicago.
President Trump is ordering a review of Oregon's federal funding.
Holy shit.
The chaos continues in Portland.
Meanwhile, radical agitators have spent nearly 100 nights straight laying siege outside the city's ICE facility.
Chandler Painter is here with all of the detail.
That's a pretty good cosplay, honestly. That's pretty good.
Chandler Painter is here with all of the details. Chandler.
I love how they just kind of drop the pretense and just dress up like the Harpies on their own.
Wording, that's right. Trump's announcement coming.
You know, it's like dispense with the metaphors, just fully embrace it.
The violent anti-ICE clashes persist in Portland since early June. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt saying this, watch.
President Trump will end the radical left's reign of terror in Portland once and for all. The president has directed Secretary Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other left-wing domestic terrorists. This is not peaceful protesting. This is left-wing anarchy.
ICE's Portland director says the facility is under constant attack with little help from local police because of political directives from city leaders. And the nightly protests have escalated beyond just chants and signs. Bottle rockets are striking ICE buildings, rocks are shattering windows, lasers targeting officers' eyes, and barricades blocking vehicles. On Friday, the FBI said 2 federal citations were issued in just the past 24 hours. As
Embarrassing.
Science failed me.
130? That's it? What are you guys doing?
30 seconds.
What are you doing? Like you could do 100. You could do 130 an hour.
Hell yeah.
You got to get these numbers up.
27 active and pending investigations and
This is it?
130 arrests. Following 100 days,
Oh my God.
have laid siege to that ICE facility. Portland FBI is posting this quote: "We continue to work with our partners to investigate instances of violence and destruction of property and hold those individuals accountable." Meanwhile, in Illinois, protests also persist there, guys, as federal agents announced the arrest of more than 1,000 illegal aliens as part of Operation Midway Blitz.
That's it?
My curse actually seems like a
That's it? What are y'all doing?
Crackdown they launched earlier this month. Guys, back to you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilby. And this is embarrassing. They arrest 1,000 people. They arrest like 10,000 people. Portland's like 1/5 the population of Chicago. You guys scale down the numbers a bit. Any of those people, in my opinion, any of those people that are out there blocking the entrance, just immediately arrest them for obstructing traffic, obstructing justice. If they're pulling out, you're getting in the way of the car. You won't get out of the way of the car. You're impeding the officers. Immediately arrest them, charge them with a felony, and that's it. It's simple. Like, playing games with this kind of stuff is just going to hurt and make everything worse.
Protesters bringing violence to America's streets, but Democrats are refusing to help. Yeah, and we were talking about the chaos that has broken out in Portland, Oregon, and in Chicago. The split screen you see here, the absolute violent assaults and riots happening as the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, saying, I want to be clear, there is no need for military troops on the ground in the state of Illinois. Go out to Portland, Oregon, this same...
I can't believe this fat retard got elected, but I guess that's what happens whenever it's probably a state full of also fat retards. It's shocking to me to see this happen. And hopefully people will realize the error of their ways and not re-elect them.
Exact thing you're seeing there, the same violence in the streets, more than 100 days of violent assault.
Yeah, like look at this, all these people, like if you've got people that are standing in the way, getting in the way of the driveway, why aren't they just immediately all getting arrested? If they were to go in and out and there are people getting in front of the cars, why aren't they just instantly getting arrested? That's the question that I have. Who cares? Well, I mean, I do, because I think it's a problem. It's a huge issue.
ICE facility in Portland as the Attorney General there in
Obstruction? Yeah. First Amendment. You don't have a First Amendment to obstruct traffic. That's not true. Where is that? That's not in the Constitution. What are you talking about?
Portland is not the president's war-torn fantasy. Our city is not ravaged, and there's no rebellion. Joining us now, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. Madam Secretary, we just showed our viewers exactly the reality of what's playing out, and then the rhetoric of the Democratic leaders, and it seems to tell two different stories.
Yes, I've encouraged the governor.
With all the peaceful anti-ICE marches that occur throughout the U.S., why does Fox only focus on a few violent incidents? I'm sure you know the obvious answer. Because the majority of the peaceful ones that are happening aren't actually peaceful. Whenever I see the peaceful protests that are happening, the majority of them are people still shutting down roads by threat of force. And also, the reason why is that it's not newsworthy. It's not a problem. Nobody has an issue with people that dislike ICE or dislike, or want to protest against ICE. That's not a problem. Like, that's their First Amendment right. Why would somebody write a story and talk about the fact that some of the people aren't violent? Because the real issue is the violent people that are doing it. right? I mean, like, yeah, protest like a normal person. Like, that's fine.
And of Illinois, and that Attorney General should go down and spend some time with our ICE officers and with our Border Patrol officers.
Your peaceful is not my peaceful?
Because these individuals are shouting.
You can't just, bro, how the fuck are you supposed to protest? You can't just stay there and yell without doing anything. No one will actually care if you don't fucking do shit. Well, in my opinion, I think if you do shit, they should arrest you violently and then put you in jail. So if your idea of protesting is being violent and doing shit, then I think you should go to jail. Like, you, and also, like, by the way, just because you don't have the right to have your voice heard and be listened to, nobody has that right. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean that everybody else has to accommodate it. And so you're creating this false dichotomy with either I get my way or it's not fair. Well, has it ever occurred to you that maybe you don't deserve to get your way because there was an election that happened and the election didn't go the way you wanted it to?
Failed me.
So it's like you're building this off of the premise that the solution to the problem is that you get your way. What about January 6th?
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
It was bad. Duh. Like, okay, what do you mean?
You're a Guardian, so what? Even I once wielded Heimdall's sword.
Yeah, it was bad.
And after holding that limitless power,
why would you even bring that up?
Anyone can swing a blade.
Hateful things at them, threatening their families, putting their hands on them, and acts of violence are occurring on a regular basis. So they're just sitting far away in safe facilities, some of them with protective detail, which is a very different situation than trying to clean up the streets and help protect the families and the victims of these criminals that have been roaming for far too long.
So during the break, you told us that there are actually some individual agents who have been identified and have bounties placed on their heads. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had a really strange incident yesterday where we had a caravan of 10 different vehicles that were following our Border Patrol agents and officers that were out there on the streets of Chicago. And they had followed them and gotten them cornered, pinned them down, and then our agents, when getting out of their cars, they tried to run them over and had semi-automatic handguns on them to where our agents had to protect themselves.
Why aren't they dead?
And an individual ended up in the hospital that was attacking these officers. Very dangerous situation, and then in that situation...
So you're telling me out of... so you're telling me out of 10 cars, only one of them ended up in the hospital? You need to teach these people how to shoot. That's embarrassing. Like, really, it's fucking embarrassing. What is going on here? I'm sorry, but like, if you're trying to run over police officers, you shouldn't be in the hospital. You should be in the road. What is this?
Behold the god of thunder!
Previously, and had told them that they all needed to go down and shouted expletives at them. So our intelligence indicates that these people are organized. They're getting more and more people on their team as far as attacking officers, and they're making plans to ambush.
And so why aren't you, if they're making plans to ambush and they're doing all this stuff, why aren't you able to preemptively arrest them and figure out what they're going to do? Like, really, I mean, it's embarrassing.
Them and to kill them. We have specific officers and agents that have bounties that have been put out on their heads.
Where?
It's been $2,000 to kidnap them, $10,000 to kill them. They've been
too cheap.
They've sent them between their networks, and it's an extremely dangerous situation and unprecedented. So we've put protective detail around those individuals, changed some of our operations.
And this is the reason, by the way, they want the ICE agents to be unmasked. See, a lot of these people they're saying it in a way that is like, oh, well, we care about civil liberties, civil rights. This is a lie. The reason why they want ICE agents to be unmasked is so they can terrorize them and their family. That's the real reason why they want to do it. Reddit is their network. Yeah, and Trump is as soft as baby food. I agree with you. I do. This is one of the reasons why I didn't vote for Trump, by the way. I don't think that he is, like, you're sending in the National Guard and, like, you're arresting, like, 100 people. This is pathetic. Like, I want someone that is, like, at least 3 or 4 times, like, 1 or 2 more orders of magnitude, more extreme, and more draconian. That's what I want. And whenever that person runs, then maybe I'll vote for them. Submerge? Maybe.
Make no mistake, this isn't just about, you know, protesting free speech, or that they don't like that people out here are upholding the law of our country. They're actually going out there and saying, kill these people and we'll give you this much money to do it.
Well, okay, so if this is the case, why aren't you going after the people who are doing it? Like, I mean, yeah, what is this? Yeah, I don't understand. Like, if this is a problem, like, I mean, maybe it's on Signal, it's harder for you to figure out who's doing it. You're not able to figure this out at all? It's crazy. You don't think it's ridiculous government agents have that identity hidden while carrying out government tasks? What stops goons from doing the same thing? Nothing. But I think that the reason why it's happening is very, I don't have a problem with it at all. It's the same thing like whenever they do a drug bust. Whenever they do drug busts or any sort of undercover operation, a lot of police officers also cover their face in order to avoid retaliation from drug cartels or any other form of violent networks. This is very common. It's obvious why they would do this, and this should be treated the exact same way. All the Mexican police are masked too? Yeah, of course, and that's the reason why. They do. They do it. Sorry about that.
Who's issuing the bounty bag? You guys are looking
who's doing it?
Groups like Antifa. Is it linked to that, or who's issuing these bounties? What do we know right now?
Well, I'm going to be careful what I say, because we have investigations going on and these threats are out there. So I'm not going to give you specific officers, although they have been specific officers that released their phone numbers or released their pictures. But it is gangs, it is cartel members, and known terrorist organizations. So
I don't believe it. I don't think the cartel members are putting out hits on ICE agents. That's retarded. Why would they do that? They don't even kill people that are in their country. No, I think she's lying. I think she's lying or their intel is wrong. Cartel isn't dumb? Yeah, it's stupid. Why would they risk that? Like, you gotta think about like this. If you are part of one of these cartels, you have effectively gone through like 10 levels of criminal natural selection. Do you really think that they're going to be putting out public bounties on ICE agents for, like, enforcing the law in Chicago? Fuck no, that's not going to happen. Especially for only $10,000. It's retarded.
Terrorist organizations as deemed by the president, but also ones that we have known for many, many years.
Why wouldn't they? Because it would attract attention to their business. The guys running the cartels are not stupid. This is like a big misunderstanding that a lot of people have. The people that are running these different terrorist networks and these cartels are not stupid or uneducated. They are very smart, they're prudent, they're business people, and they know what they're doing. Many of them are educated. They're college-educated people. And if they're not college-educated, they've had 30, 50, no, 50, 20 years experience doing this work. They're not going to try to aggro the boss. Why would they do that? If you can farm trash mobs and get a bunch of money, why would you aggro the boss? They're not stupid. Like, do you think they're going to go out and directly try to attack the federal government of the United States? Huge disagree, bro. I'm just saying, like, yeah. That's insane. Risking $1 million revenue for $10,000. Yeah, exactly. Cartel put a hit on YouTubers. It's not beneath them to do this? Yeah, because the YouTubers are talking shit directly about the leaders of the cartel. That's totally fucking different. That's a totally different thing than random agents arresting people in a state in the United States. It's a completely different
The
thing.
battle starts in 5.
They are
4,
making sure
3,
that they know
2,
which officers are out
1.
there and being extremely
You have to
effective,
stop them
and they
from
want to take
securing
them
the
down
mission area.
because they want to try to stop the operations that are going that are keeping them from making money off their criminal networks.
Do you have any evidence that those cartels, same cartels, are actually helping fund some of the protests themselves in terms of turning people out?
Well, we've been spending a lot of time working as a whole of government approach, and so talked to Scott Dissent about this last night, and he's really helping us dig into the funding of these
YouTuber in question went into their turf and broke them, so he was restoring. Yeah, he shouldn't have been doing that. Don't poke the bear. Yeah, he was fucking with them constantly, and they killed him. Yeah, duh. You shouldn't have done it.
missions, where they're getting their money. You know, when you're down there with these protesters and you're looking at them and interacting with them. I was in Chicago just 2 days ago watching these protesters and our officers engage with them. All the protesters are wearing the same gas masks. They're carrying the same kind of signs. Many of them were printed with the same font. They look like they came from the same company. To be that organized and have the same equipment to push back on law and order, you know that somebody is funding them and organizing them and that they're being paid. What would all these individuals be doing, and how are they affording their groceries?
It's embarrassing that the government can't figure this out. I find this to be absolutely embarrassing. This should be a complete disgrace to anybody who is, in my opinion, if I had voted for Trump, I would be so mad right now. I would be so mad that they have not gone so much harder on this. You think it's a private Discord or a subreddit or both? I think it's probably a number of things. I think they're probably using Telegram, Signal, Discord, Facebook, and I think also there's probably interplay between the two different ones that they use where they transmit their usernames, and then that's probably the point of connection that you can find and then try to subpoena ISPs, find out their information, and then go after the people that live there. That's basically what you should probably do, right? Probably Telegram? Yeah, but like usually people are doing this, game chats, etc. Yeah. Also use TikTok? Yeah.
When they're down in the street protesting at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and spending all day there just screaming horrible things at law enforcement, putting their hands on them and violating our laws.
What, for the life of me, I can't understand, Madam Secretary.
Why you can't figure it out?
Just weeks ago, here on this couch, I asked you how concerned you were that one of your agents could be killed. In that time, since I asked you that, we have had bullets fired into the Dallas facility there.
I think that there's a probability that they're waiting and they want one of the agents to get killed because that will galvanize and make the public support them being even more aggressive with, their enforcement. And that's a possibility that they're waiting for effectively a willing martyr in order to push this all the way. Because if an agent gets killed, right, a Border Patrol agent gets killed, that will be a green light for them to just kind of go all the way. That's what. That's what might be what they're doing. That's what would make sense to me. That's the only way, other than them just being retarded, that any of this makes sense.
2 illegal aliens that were in custody with your agents running into the fire to try and protect those detainees. And just 2 days after that incident on the streets of Chicago, there in Broadview, where this is happening, you have people chanting, shoot ICE, kill ICE. But for the life of me, I cannot understand why Democrat politicians...
No. What a pussy. Ask her right now to her fucking face. I guess not to her face because it's on camera. But ask her right now, why is it that the people that are saying to kill ICE and to shoot them are not in custody being apprehended at this rate? What is the justification that people that are openly calling for the murder of federal agents are not immediately charged?
I require some aid.
Why is that? Why has that not already happened?
The local leaders like Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is literally...
Free speech, dumbass? That's not free speech. You can't do that. First Amendment from judges? You can't... You cannot go out and advocate to kill federal agents. There are limits on free speech. That's a big limit. Like, what are we doing?
Calling you essentially a liar when you make
threats of violence are covered. They're not.
Your ICE agents are being attacked. Here's a little bit of what he had to say. I want to get your response.
She has no idea what she's talking about. You know, the Trump administration, they are completely delusional.
What's this guy's approval rating? Like 3 or 7%? Everybody hates this guy. You think they don't want to harm before midterms? I think they're harming themselves by not doing anything. I think that whenever a lot of voters that voted for Trump to be extreme, like basically, I think that there was one of the reasons why I think some people are unhappy with the way that Trump has handled things isn't because he's done too much. It's because he hasn't done enough. And I think that the fact that he hasn't, you know, he right now has